Hey there, everybody. Jimmy with Top Crane here. Someone already gave me a thumbs up. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Lighting. How's lighting? I guess it's okay. Lighting looks okay. At least it looks okay to me. I don't know how it looks to you guys. But anyway, I'm not going to be on here terribly long. It's been a long week. And we just did a live stream last Sunday. But I'll be on for a little bit. And also, I got to get the snow blower out. I think we're up to about 5 inches of snow so far. So I got to get the driveway cleaned off before everybody starts driving on it and packs it in, and then it's hard to get it cleared off. So anyway, we got some people rolling in. We're up to 6 now. Want to let everybody know who won the silent auction on the axes, which are these. And we had a few bids, and I want to thank 45 Nuts for he threw a bid in on the double bit, but was outbid. So the winner again this year is the same person that got the one last year. So D. McDonald, actually, he bid 300 on the double bit and 200 on the single. So 500 for the pair. So D. McDonald, thanks for that tremendously. I mean, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This whole deal has been pretty touching to me this year. We have gone way above and beyond what we were able to do last year. And it's for a fantastic cause. So for those that haven't checked it out, the money's going to go to 98.9 The Rock, Hope for the Holidays. You can Google that, and it'll pop up in a Google search. And what it is, it's local radio station. None of your business. How are you doing? Oh, hi and bye. Pop it in real quick. But local radio station, what they do is take families that, send in requests or whatever that are in need of a hand up. They don't need a handout. They need a hand up. But like say their car's broke down and they're behind on their light bill or whatever, and something catastrophic has happened in their family. Someone's diagnosed with cancer, or someone passes away, or house fires. Just you name it, life happens. It hits these poor people. And so they just need a hand up. And so what they do is the radio station will reach out to them, find out what they owe and to where, and then those people have to bring their bills in, and the radio station pays it directly to the utility companies or arranges to have their cars fixed or whatever. So it's really for a good cause. And let's see, it's Andy B. How are you doing? D. McDonald says, yes, thank you, Jimmy. Very happy to contribute to a worthy cause. Really happy. I haven't gone to the website this year yet, but it is a great cause. Anthony Ray says, take care of yourself and your family. And I have had a busy week this week. It worked today, worked yesterday, worked late all week last week. Hey, Max, how are you? And I got your donation written down too. So Justin Heil, how are you doing? So I'm going to read off some of the donations. I'll tell you guys how much we've raised this year. And we've still got one that's kind of up in the air, and it's very, very significant. So that particular subscriber and myself, we're working out the details on it because he's in another country. But Anthony Ray threw $50 in. 45 Nuts, how are you doing? So Anthony Ray threw $50 in. Matt Lee went out of his way and brought $20 to our office and left it at the front desk for me. So we've got $20 from Matt Lee. Max with a $200 donation. I'm going to throw a couple $100 in. And then we got the 500 from D. McDonald. And Barry Hansen from New Zealand sent me an email and said that he would like to donate 1,000. Now, I don't know if it's 1,000 New Zealand or 1,000 US dollars. We haven't quite covered that yet. But nevertheless, with D. McDonald, our contribution, Barry Hansen, Max, Matt Lee, Anthony Ray. And if Barry Hansen's is New Zealand dollars, it comes out to 1,629. If it's American US dollars, then it will be 1,970. So that G4 Outdoors, how you doing, Randy? Almost $2,000. raised for that cause. And I couldn't do it without all of you guys. So I greatly appreciate it. I mean, Andy B says, good job, D. McDonald. It literally almost brings me to tears that you guys are willing to do this kind of stuff. So, I didn't have anything else planned to talk about. So if you guys want to talk about something for a little bit, we can make that happen. Also, I have a video that's going to be coming up here real soon. If any of you guys watch Andrew Camarada, I think I pronounced that last name correctly. Hopefully I didn't butcher it, but he did some pretty sketchy stuff in one of his videos with a crane recently, and I went into comments and was trying to kind of help him out in the future. So we are going to have some crane math, but we're not doing it in a live stream because it's a lot to take in, and it might make some people's heads explode. But I've already started on some of the video. You can see in my 5-year-old penmanship. And I had Sid Vicious as a subscriber that emails me pretty frequently, and he recommended that I do a rigging video in a series. So what do you guys think of that? Do you guys want me to do a series type deal on rigging and basically cover it from front to back? G4 Outdoors pop quiz. Oh boy. Hey Max, what do you have this week? I have some time to come record if you're working close. I know I'm setting a house tomorrow. I'm hoping we don't have anything going on Tuesday. I would really like to take the day off Tuesday just because we've been so busy this last week. And then Wednesday I have to set another house. Thursday I'm setting a 125,000 pound tank. And then on the same job site, setting a 79,000 pound tank. So we'll have 2 more tanks to set. Yes, probably in the snow. Thomas Nelson, heads exploding, make good video. Von Heels, how are you doing? It says maybe some pros, cons of chain versus endless loop versus straps. That'd be a pretty good topic. So I can cover some of that. D. McDonald says, when the snow is gone this summer, I want to ask a favor. Can you help me reeve the 13 sheave block on the LTM 11200 model I got? The diagram gives me headaches. I will absolutely help you with that. If I'm not mistaken, D. McDonald, you may be in Colorado. So, I don't know. Maybe I should just road trip. Maybe I just need a road trip to Colorado. Joe Evans, how are you doing? D. McDonald says, do. I've got family in southern Colorado, and then I've got a friend in Fort Collins. I've got an uncle that lives just outside of Denver. So I could make that a definitely trip to see a few people and come reeve your 13 shiv block. But anyway, on the rigging, I need to take note on that. Pros, cons, chain versus endless. And then straps. $45 nuts. Talk about grade 70 and grade 80 chain regarding the Andrew video. I'm definitely going to talk about that. I'll talk about it quick, fast, in a hurry right now if you want to hear about it. But sure, we'll just jump into it. Grade 70 tie-down chain or transport chain is not designed for lifting. It's not recommended for lifting. Transport materials like ratchet straps, chains, etc. are only tested, and I say only, but they're only tested to a 3-to-1 safety factor for the transportation industry. Crane rigging is tested at a minimum of 4-to-1 and typically 5-to-1 safety factor. Grade 70 will also stretch fairly significantly, and at a certain point will decide to let go. The pros or the cons to grade 80 and grade 100, and I think there's even grade 120. When you overload it, it blows up like a shotgun shell. It goes off like a bomb. And a lot of times it sends shrapnel flying. So chains are one of those things that you got to be careful with anyway. But transport chain in the industry is a no-no for picking anything up. You can use it for tying stuff down. I use it for pulling people out of ditches when they have stupid attacks. But I will never, ever throw a grade 70 chain in a crane hook and lift anything with it. D. McDonald, I have the jibs and all. The whole thing is like 13 feet tall. At least the 13 sheet block can only be rigged with the 3-section boom. Wow, that is a huge model crane. Earl Regular, how are you doing? Von Heels, is it a similar argument for recovery versus lifting straps? I will not use recovery straps for rigging, period. It will not happen. And also, on the flip side of that, and you'll sometimes see people do it on a job site, if you use lifting straps as a recovery strap, you can no longer use it as a lifting strap. So if you take your $300 30-foot continuous Dyneema strap and throw it around the ball of a truck and hook it onto the front of a skid loader and try to pull it out, you can no longer use that for lifting. Even if you only pulled a 6,000 pound machine out, you can't use it for lifting anymore. And the reason for that is when you're pulling something out, you have absolutely no idea how much force you exerted on that strap. So you may have, stressed it. Josh Wellner, how are you doing? Zach Porter says hi from Texas. Hello from Missouri. Whereabouts in Texas, Zach Porter? I've got some brothers down in the Tyler area. Nathaniel Lee, how are you doing? Thomas Nelson, the biggest straps and shackles I own can't be used to pick a pound off the ground. So, yes, recovery straps are a no-no. Ratchet straps, a no-no. Grade 70 lifting chain or grade 70 transport chain, none of that can be used for rigging, or none of it's allowed to be used as rigging. There's people that do it, but Seguin, I'm not sure where that is. But there are people that use transport stuff for hoisting, and it's a risky business. And a lot of people don't understand the crane world is a completely different world from that of excavators and skid loaders and dozers. And I've operated all of them. And with an excavator, and this is one of the things I pointed out in the comment on Andrew's video. If you're in an excavator, even if you're picking something with an excavator, if it starts going south and the machine starts going over, it's easy to recover an excavator. It's easy to keep it upright. I mean, you can rapidly set your load down. So an excavator lifting something is nothing in comparison to lifting something with a crane. When a crane starts going over, it generally, at first, it happens kind of slow unless it's a structural failure. But there's typically no recovering it. When something happens with a crane, it generally is catastrophic. Nathaniel Lee says, I'm doing well, and how you're going to get today and who made your channel sing. I'm not sure about what you're asking there. Zach Porter says, by San Antonio off I-10. So that's down there a ways. Von Heel's been there, done that. Terry Schaefer, how are you doing? Says from Holiday, Florida. Warp 65er. Says at D McDonald, maybe this will help you on YouTube 380 series Easy Reef crane block. Von Heel says, I can tell you from experience in an excavator, you can feel it getting light before you start tipping. And you can typically feel a crane getting light as long as you're in the stability chart and not the structural chart. You start getting into the structural capacity, and the crane can fold up before it ever starts getting light. So I also recommended to Andrew in comments that he maybe seek out a crane class if he's going to start using that crane for anything, especially anything outside of his premises. They are really cracking down on the certification thing now since it's become law. So hopefully Andrew takes what I've said in comments and puts it into place as far as taking a rigging class, taking a crane class, and not trying to figure out the crane world by the seat of his pants, because it could very well bite him in the seat of the pants. Von Heel says, yeah, I will tip the excavator over before I seat its structural capacity. Those things are tough as long as they're maintained. That's a fact. Let's see, Nathaniel Lee, the to the top crane sign. So, he wanted to know who made that. So a friend of mine that has a CNC router made that sign. But yeah, if any of you guys watch Andrew's videos and you see what he did in his last 2 videos, you will understand why I'm a little concerned. 45 nuts says Andrew used a man lift to set a roof truss in a video. That is also a no-no. Oh man. 45 nuts. I probably shouldn't watch any of Andrew's stuff anymore. He's probably going to give me a heart attack. But to my knowledge, and I worked around aerial work platforms for the first 10 years of my career around heavy equipment. So I've been through factory training and factory service training on Snorkel, JLG, Genie, Skyjack, you name it, as far as aerial work platforms. And I've stuck a wrench and a screwdriver in it and been through their factory service training. To my knowledge, the only AWP that was made that was designed for lifting anything other than people is Genie made a towable boom that you could remove the basket and put a searcher hook on it and use it for light duty stuff. I think with the hook on it, it was rated for 1,000 pounds, maybe 1,200. If Lester Thompson's listening or pipes in, then he'll correct me on it. He used to work for Genie Industries, so he would know right off the top of his head. But AWPs are only designed for moving people. Andy B says, I think you follow 1140 rotator. They had a 25,000 pound boat hung off the back of the rotator backing up to the water. Von Heels, I can literally pick the entire excavator up with the boom to climb with the excavator. Yeah, and I used to run a Herzog car topper. It was a modified backhoe. You climb up on top of a train and unload rail cars with it. Thomas Nelson said, I'll never lift a human. If something goes wrong, I'll never get out of debt. Couldn't live with myself. I fly man baskets fairly regularly, and it doesn't bother me to fly man baskets. I fly, I work with some of my closest friends, and I'm not afraid to put them in a man basket and fly them 250 feet in the air. But as you guys can tell, I'm very safety conscious. I make sure all my I's are dotted and T's are crossed before that platform ever leaves the ground or that basket ever leaves the ground. And realistically, I feel safer in a crane man basket than I do in like a boom lift. A crane's rated for tons. Boom lifts are not rated for tons. Von Heel says, not sure if I ever shared this, but the worst safety failure I've ever seen in person was a crane that picked up a man lift, and then the man lift was extended out to get more range. Josh Wellner, I've used a Niffy lift to move wood before, only 300 pounds at a whack. Warp 65 got this from another YouTuber, but thought it sums up Andrew. I'm not sure. You must be adding to it. Nathaniel Lee says, what are you going to be getting for Christmas? I have no idea. My wife, she does not give hints, and she doesn't let me shake packages. And so I don't know. I'm hoping, I don't know. We'll see. I would really like to have a DJI Osmo. It's the Osmo Mini, I think, or something like that. It's a little camera that is it's got a 3-axis gyro on it, and it shoots super stable footage when you're walking with it. So I'm hoping to get one of those. And if I don't get one of those, the DJI Mavic Mini was kind of on my list because I want to start getting some drone footage for you guys. So we'll see what happens. Let me see if I can find that DJI Osmo, whatever it's called. Warp 65. Roll it over one time and it's all been up for no reason. No, it's the DJI Osmo Pocket. It's a pretty cool little tool. Let's see if I can find a picture of it that will pop up. So I'm really kind of shooting for one of those, hopefully. Zenon Watts, how are you doing? Says 10 minutes checking stuff and making sure it's safe is a lot faster and cheaper than a hospital visit. For sure. And taking a little extra time out to make sure it's done right is a whole lot cheaper and faster than cleaning up a crane wreck. D. McDonald had to get certified to run a cherry picker in the U.S. Air Force back in the 80s to change an antenna. Safety first, of course. Thomas Nelson. My tree guys always want me to pick them up with leaf blowers to clean off roofs. I'm going to hook up the necks that ass, pick him up a foot, fire up the blower, and watch him spin till he pukes. Yeah, I don't think a leaf blower sitting in a bosun seat would be very efficient. I think they would just spin them around in circles. 45 nuts, $100 deposit on a Tesla Cybertruck for Christmas. I don't want one of those Tesla Cybertrucks. I'm good with burning dead dinosaurs. Marcus 22. So what is the best machine you have ever operated? Oh, Mary popped in. I know one thing you're getting. So that's my mom. Let's see. What's the best machine I've ever operated? I really like that Tadano crane. It's a good one. As far as probably the nicest, it's probably that Tadano crane. Joe Evans says, I'm just getting back. Welcome back. Nathaniel Lee, I think it's going to be a crane. I don't think I'm getting a crane for Christmas. Ryan Huey, what's up, everybody? And then Zenon Watts, the sky. BWC, how are you doing? Von Heels, Engineering Explained actually did a really good video of the drawbacks to using electric trucks. I saw that. And, think about this for a second. As far as electric vehicles go, and even hybrids, this phone, which has a lithium battery in it, uses the same battery technology as a hybrid car or even a fully electric car like a Tesla anything. By the time this thing's 2 years old, you only have about 80% capacity of your battery. Everybody knows as your phone gets older, your battery starts draining faster and faster, and it's not necessarily you're asking it to do anymore. It's just the battery, it's the nature of the battery. It starts getting to where it doesn't have as much capacity. So in the same theory, you take one of those fancy golf cart trucks and yank 80% or yank 20% of your battery life out in 2 years. And then what are you stuck with? Well, if you replace the battery, it's significantly more expensive than replacing a gas engine. So I'll just keep burning dinosaurs. Ryan Huey, at least it's not the rent. Nathaniel Lee says hi to my mom, Mary. Mac Life, how are you? I do not own the crane business. Marcus 22, I have operated a crawler crane. And crawler cranes definitely have their place. They're very efficient at moving around a job site, and will smoke a hydraulic crane or a telescopic boom crane or even a pinning boom crane as far as speed. Booms, lattice booms by nature are typically lighter per the same length or the same size machine than a pinning boom or even just a hydraulic telescopic boom. But hydros, where they excel is mobility from job site to job site. But yeah, I don't want one of those Tesla trucks. So if anybody's thinking about getting me one of those, I'll pass. And for those that don't know, and well, those that did know, I used to have a Dodge. Well, they don't even call it Dodge anymore. I used to have a Ram 2500 Cummins, and I got rid of that a little while back. Andy B, I can hear that Detroit humming. I don't want anything to do with that old link belt. Marcus 22, I don't operate tower cranes. Never been in one. I'm not climbing in one. I didn't lose anything up there. I got no reason to be up there. Von Hill, I also wonder what the GVW rating is going to be on the Cybertruck Tri-Motors if they're going to have a 500-mile range and 15,000 towing. I'm thinking you're going to have they're probably going to be pretty heavy. D. McDonald says I have a Tesla MX and a 2010 GT500. It's all about battery management. Oh, he says he's got a 7-year guarantee, but statistics show 14-year usage. I don't want a Tesla truck either. So you got a GT500? I bet that's a fun one. Thomas Nelson Lamb 2500. Oh, say if you don't want that truck, I've got nothing for you. Yeah, I really don't want one of those electric trucks. Josh Boner asked, what did I go to for a truck? So I bought a 2017 GMC Denali, Sierra Denali 1500 with the 6.2 in it. So I went back to a gas engine from a diesel, went to a half ton, and I couldn't justify driving that diesel pickup 12 miles a day round trip to work and only pulling my camper a few times a year. So I decided to go with something that doesn't mind starting in the winter. And actually, I never had any trouble with my Cummins starting in the winter, but I don't have to let that 6.2 warm up as long. Oil changes are significantly cheaper in a gas engine. And the 6.2 is a lot of fun. I got to admit it. When I'm driving it, I kind of hot rodded around a little bit. For a truck, and if G4 is still on here, he just bought a 2019 Chevy. Oh, what is it? It's a 1500 High Country with the 6.2 in it. And he called me after he bought it. He's like, man, that 6.2 will run. And really, for a truck, it's fast. Like 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds fast in a 4-wheel drive crew cab truck. That's getting with it. There's also a company that makes there's several companies. There's one company that makes a 1,300 horse twin turbo kit for it, which I don't think I need quite that much, but I'm really thinking the Hennessy supercharger that makes 650 horse wouldn't be all bad. Zenon Wab said, I need a crane for around the house. Should I go with 100 or 200 ton? If you're doing crane work around the house, 100 ton would probably be more than adequate. 45 nuts had read somewhere a Tesla truck rate is 3/4 and 1 ton truck weight class. Yeah, no golf carts for me. D. McDonald 1 of 19. I have the paperwork T-shirts with signatures of the guys who built the engine. It's old, but at the time, the fastest Mustang, 540 horse. I would say hang on to that thing because it's only going to get more valuable. Von Hills brings up good points. Says they need to get the energy density up on the batteries to make EVs effective for daily use. They'll get there eventually, but not there yet. Nathaniel Lee says, Mary, you're right. And can you please tell us what Jimmy's going to be getting? I don't think my mom's going to divulge what I'm getting for Christmas in comments because, well, I can see them. But Joe Evans says, I wish I could say that I have an old 3800 Navistar bus, and if it gets below 30, I need to preheat it, or it needs preheated. D. McDonald said, not selling it. My granddaughter can inherit my grandkids. Thomas Nelson, I got a Ford F-250 with a 460 and at 244,000 miles, doesn't burn oil, getting rusty, and it'll pass anything but a gas station. That is a fact. Those old 460s, that they'd run, but they were thirsty. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of tapping into my old Motorhead days from way back when, but I think the 460 Ford is the only engine that you can buy the parts over the counter through a Ford dealership, through Ford Performance, and build an engine that's over 700 cubic inches. If someone knows otherwise and wants to correct me on that, then do so in comments, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I think you can build a 700 plus cubic inch big block Ford with Ford Performance parts over the counter from your Ford dealership using a 460 block. So Thomas Nelson, if you need more than 460 cubic inches, I think it's available. But I know I've only been on here for about 30 minutes, but I got to go get the old snowblower out. Thomas Nelson, I know the guy that can do that. But I got to get the snowblower out, and I'm going to go rest for a little while. It's been a crazy, crazy busy week, and it looks like it's going to be just about as busy next week. But I greatly appreciate everybody's participation in this. Congratulations again to D. McDonald. You are going to have quite the collection of axes. That I think these two will give you 3. And I'm going to throw some Tadano stickers in, some To the Top Crane stickers, a couple hats, and the old Tadano poster that is just like the one in the background right there. So it's got all the current models of ATs and RTs that Tadano makes on it. Chris Boyd, thanks for that. Says, awesome channel. I enjoy your videos. So, yeah, I appreciate that, Chris. And I appreciate all of you guys. All of you subscribers are what makes this channel what it is. You know, I always say this isn't my channel. This is your guys' channel. I just put stuff on it. So your guys' participation is what really makes this channel what it is. So 45 Nuts says Green Acres here. Sandy, says, howdy do all. Popped in quickly to say hi. Wish you all a happy Christmas. You as well, Sandy. And I will probably jump on quick, fast, in a hurry Christmas Eve. So be looking for that. But we'll pop on quick, fast, in a hurry on Christmas Eve and maybe get the dogs involved. And from my family to you all, a Merry Christmas type of deal on Christmas Eve. So Nathaniel Lee, please like and sub. Joe Evans, same here, like your content. D. McDonald says, hit the thumbs up, everybody. Can I match? It's kind of similar to that. I know it's hard to do with my busted up hands. Shane Davis missed the whole stream, Jim. Been watching The Fire in the Fireplace with my daughter. Have a good one. Well, lucky for you, you can rewatch it. So anyway, you guys always keep me humble. I appreciate your guys' support tremendously and being part of all this. So with that being said, I'm going to go move some snow and go hit my recliner. So everybody have a happy, safe week. We will talk to you guys all on Christmas Eve, and To the Top Crane is out.